Right, so who am I? I am Tracy Davis from Davis Training Consultants. We specialize in customized training, and that is personal development training, corporate training, business development. Those are some of the things that we specialize in. But specifically what I do, individually, I do coaching for brand new entrepreneurs. I have a question, and this is just a general thought. It's something you can think about, or you may already know the answer. Often when you hear the word entrepreneur or business owner, especially someone who's starting, or it could be a group of individuals who are starting out, you hear the word passion. You know, that's something that we keep hearing. But what I've discovered is it's more of being a business owner, entrepreneur is more than just a passion. Would you all agree?
Yes.
Definitely.
All right, so let me pose a question, to make sure we're all on the same page. What if I told you I have a passion to be a brain surgeon or astronaut? And that's pretty much all I told you. I just have a passion. What would be your general response to that statement? I just have a passion to be a brain surgeon or astronaut or rocket scientist.
What are you doing to get qualified?
This dude doesn't know how long it takes to become one of those.
What else?
You don't know how long it takes to become one of those.
Right. So obviously there's some involvement, right? Those to be the same types of things that we should consider. How much is involved? What's the training? And really, what is the complete landscape of what it means to be a entrepreneur? So what I specialize in, really, within the first 6 months to a year, is helping those individuals get some of the key components that are necessary to be a successful entrepreneur. Anybody know what the statistics are for success/failure of most businesses or entrepreneurs? What are some of the statistics that are out there? It's something you need to know. Again, it's kind of put in the same genre as being a brain surgeon or whatever.
Ask the question again?
What is the statistics for the success rate of entrepreneurs for?
It's 10%. It's very low.
90%
Yeah.
on the first
Very
year.
low.
I heard it, right? Very low,
Very low.
90%. But yet no one's in here is shocked. Why? Because we still thinking about passion. Still thinking about passion. And so our company and what I really specialize in is the ability to put some of those things together. Now my background is training. I do a lot of training locally, and some of the customers that I've been involved with include the city of Suffolk, the city of Franklin, when they had that huge crisis a few years ago when the paper mill shut down. You can imagine what those individuals went through. And you see some of the same things with entrepreneurs when they pass that first, euphoria of owning their own business. The same degree of panic tends to set in. And one of the things that I remember having a conversation a few weeks ago, actually a few months ago, is the mindset. So with our background and what I do, one of the key things that we really focus in on initially is developing the right mindset. Finding what's the mindset, not just the passion, but the required mindset along with being an entrepreneur in the beginning stages. For those mothers out there, you know what it's like to have a newborn. There's a lot of time that you have to spend with that newborn. And it's the same thing with your business or something that you have a need, or that you think there's a need for. Now, in the handout, you'll notice a few things that we do for the coaching, or what I do for coaching. Now, for the Davis Consultant, what we partner with several organizations and institutions to provide you, the end customer, with extensive care, hands-on, high touch. So that's number one. Whether you just started or you've been in business for a while, we provide a lot of services there for a very high touch capability. But for the brand new entrepreneur, I will be working with that person specifically, and I also partner with Omar Periu. He's an international coach. He's been around for quite a few years. He's been involved with people like Tracy, so forth and so on. So I don't really want to go through my resume per se. If you all have questions about my background, you'll find some of it in here. I will leave that opportunity up to you, or if you want to reach out, it's up to you. Questions? Yes?
How do you differentiate yourself in the space?
Well, what I've noticed is most coaches are either going to concentrate on tactics or strategies, one of the two. And often, if you're anxious, you're going to try to find the latest tactic. And that's pretty much what most coaches will sell you on, is a tactic. Whether it's, again, this is not a slam on anyone specifically. What's the latest Facebook technique? What's the da-da-da-da-da-da? And you end up doing a lot of those things and not necessarily getting the results. Not because those techniques may not work, it's because you're not really in a position, or you're not ready to apply those particular things for your business, like a baby. Like again, I'm using that as an example. I can use any example. If your infant, if you have an infant, if they're not ready for formula, if you will, or what have you, I'm just making this up, then what? You don't feed the baby that type of stuff. It's the same thing with your business. You have to kind of know. So that's what we do. The distinguishing thing is that we really customize exactly what you need, whether it's a particular tactic or a combination of tactics and strategies. But mindset is always the underlying thing here. Yes.
What's the biggest mistake you see new business owners make?
Well, you guys, I kind of alluded to it, and that is not thinking about what are the particular skill sets that they need. I'm also a musician, and so say I can use another analogy. If I said I want to be a pianist, I'm sure everyone in here would, and I don't know anything about scales, I don't want to learn scales, what would you tell me? Chances are you're not going to be a classic pianist. So what I really would say is that the biggest issues is not knowing some of the fundamentals that will sustain them over a long period of time, and not really understanding that. We were just talking about learning a different language. Here's another example, learn a different language. If you really wanted to learn a language and understand exactly how to speak it and understand how it's used in the right context, you have to really immerse yourself in that thing. So that's the second mistake. That's a few others, but I would say entrepreneurs and business owners don't really fully engage. They kind of nibble at it. Okay, I will do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And you really never get a full understanding of what it takes to be a business owner from that perspective. So those are two. Not understanding what it takes and not fully immersing yourself in it. What a great question. Yes.
So do you help them learn the skills necessary to be a successful entrepreneur, or do you help them find other individuals who have the skills they're lacking?
Often it's a combination of both things. If you're in a unique industry, it's obvious that you have to have someone, a coach, who may specialize in that area. But what I try to do is prepare you. And this is like an athlete, you think of a pro team. You have the head coach, but then again you have a coach for conditioning, you have a person for conditioning, you have a coach for this. So what I try to do is provide just a general coaching to kind of get the person in the right framework, if you will, and then from there either provide those services through the consultancy aspect of what we do, or really just recommend someone else that's a better fit.
So is the ideal candidate somebody then who has an idea but does not yet have a business, or somebody who has a business but is struggling to get to that next level? That's
a great question. So the third mistake is not finding the right business model. So that's one of the primary things we do here. So if they already have a business plan or model, I would say we look at it to make sure it's the right fit for the skill sets that they have and so forth and so on. Or if they don't, you know, what is the best business model? So that's what we do. You know, you either evaluate what they already have or help develop that in a very strategic, tactical, meaningful way. All right. Any other questions? Thank you all for your time.